What's good, everybody? It's your boy Anonymous, the author, aka Anonymous Rap Guy, and I am back with another Ohio BBW Network interview. Today, we have the dope, the beautiful, the kind, and the hilarious Miss Big Delicious. How are you doing today, ma'am?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well. We appreciate you for coming by the show today. Appreciate actually you reaching out via Instagram, so that's always dope to hear from excellent
Yeah.
people.
Tell you I've been networking and I actually specifically put in like BBWs in Ohio and
Hmm.
your page had come up
Dope.
and I was looking through and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty sweet." Like,
Hmm.
cuz you have a lot of like just random people content, you know what
Right.
I mean? And everybody else kind of has like, people they know or people that they, kind of choosy about it.
Hmm.
So I thought it was pretty cool that you're a little more open and really just kind of putting us big girls out there.
Most
Like I
definitely.
respect it. I totally respect it.
Most definitely. So, if you check out her page, which the link will be in the description, it says at the very top that you are into like the dom lifestyle. Is that correct?
Yes, I actually have a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Mistress Angie, and we have Polar Bear Nation,
Mm-hmm.
which actually we had started out making our own porn website.
Oh, no joke.
And, with porn, it's more like you kind of have to have money to start out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So, I mean, at first it was cool because it's like, okay, we could do plus size interracial porn
Mm-hmm.
and men will flock to come fuck two bitches, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But then it comes down to like, okay, well, do we want it to just be us all the time,
Mm-hmm.
But you can't get a woman to do that for free.
Right.
A
Right.
man, he's like, oh yeah, two
Yeah.
bitches, hell yeah, he's
Right.
like,
Just tell me
he's
the
all in.
location. Right. Right.
Right. So that you approach a woman, she's like, "Where my money at?"
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't know, bitch. We got to make
Right.
it.
Right. Right. Startup
But
costs. Yeah.
right. So, my partner though, Mistress Angie,
Mhm.
she has actually been doing femdom for 9 years.
Oh, no joke.
So she had one of her subs had came over one day,
Mm.
and he's like, "Oh, I want a session with her," and I was like, "Oh, I ain't never done that. That's kind of weird."
Mm.
And she's like, "Well, come on, we'll do a training session."
Mm.
So we went, and she has a dungeon in her basement.
Okay.
We went in the dungeon, and we did a training session.
Mm.
And she's like, "Oh my God, you're a natural." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I like to be mean to people, like
That's the
like
best part.
right, who can't do that?"
Right.
So, but from there, it was like, you know what? Like, there's no double BBW DOMs.
Mm.
So we do double sessions where it's both of us,
Dope.
and we're both BBW.
Mm.
So we're actually trend setting right
I
now.
know that's right. Setting the
Um,
market. I know that's right.
right, right. So, but with the Dom thing, it's like they pay us.
Hmm.
So with that, we use the Dom portion of it to kind of fund the porn portion of it.
Right. Right.
So it kind of goes hand in hand together. And we're getting ready to go down to Houston to go visit some plus size strip clubs. We want to get a plus size strip club up here in Ohio.
Awesome.
We
Awesome.
definitely need one.
I know that's right. Are you gonna for the people that don't know, we did reach out. You did tell me earlier that we're both from the Ohio area, so we're
Yes.
somewhat close.
Yeah.
Are you gonna keep that central up north in Cleveland, or are you gonna is that anywhere like anywhere in Ohio specifically?
Well, we are looking in Cleveland
Mm.
first,
Mm.
just because that's where we're at. You know what I mean? It's a little more convenient for
Right. Yeah.
us. But we plan to expand.
Mm.
Polar Bear Nation, I want to be like an entire brand. So like
Mm.
we'll have the porn slash dom, website.
Mm.
And then I want the plus size strip club, but we also want a swingers club.
Mm.
Like, I don't know if you ever been up to Cleveland to like Clubby Rose.
Farthest only time I leave Cincinnati is when I'm going out of state. I've been like to Dayton, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, please clue me in.
Okay, yeah. Well, they have a couple. There's like, gosh, I can't even think of the names of them right now because I just blanked. But there's
Mm.
a couple of swingers clubs up here,
Okay.
but they're not like specifically BBW. Like, I
Right.
think, we like prioritize like making sure that we have like LGBTQ, things or,
Mm.
just people of color things.
Mm.
Or like, I think we need to start doing more like just BBW things. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we could get a job at a strip club if we're lucky. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Or to be at the swingers club, it's cool, but
Mm.
it makes us feel a little more comfortable when we're surrounded by women that look like us.
Absolutely.
If I'm at a swingers club and there's 20 skinny females
Mm.
and I'm the only big female, whether you're a confident BBW or not, that does give you some type of self-esteem issue. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean?
right. You're sticking
In
out.
the
Yeah,
moment.
absolutely.
Right, in the moment.
Absolutely.
So we just want it to be more comfortable for women like us.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody is welcome, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
if we make it solely around us, it's better for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of where we're getting at. Like, just jumping on the bandwagon. Like, I've always been a confident BBW my whole life.
I know
You know
that's
what I mean?
right.
So I was kind of excited when the wave started coming. I was like, oh yeah, it's our time.
I know that's right. You'll put up to bat. I know that's right.
Right.
Mm.
So that's like the whole polar bear thing comes from being a big white woman. Like,
Mm.
we get called snow bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm not a fucking bunny, dude. Like, I'm too fucking big and I'm too aggressive. Like, I'm like a fucking polar bear.
I know that's right.
And I was with my friend one night. We were actually on the east side of Cleveland at this bar, and these dudes were like, "Oh, they got bunnies in there," and I totally freaked out. Like, do I look like little bunny foo-foo to you?
You got him told, okay.
I'm not Peter fucking Cottontail, dude.
Oh, you got big energy. Okay, then I like it.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm probably more like a polar bear. Like, I'm too big and aggressive. I'd probably rip your fucking head off. And my friend's laughing. She's like, "Yeah, bitch, you're a polar bear." So from then on, I ran with it. Like, all right, polar bear nation then. Like,
That's
we're
dope.
polar bears in this bitch. So I mean, all the way around, it's kind of like trend setting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So I gotta get into this because I've always been curious about like the dom thing, dom lifestyle, the dom kind of interest. So would you say that in the dom lifestyle that you enjoy that in your personal life, or is it just something that you do for to fund the main goal?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
So at first, like I said, the whole thought of it was like, oh, it's kind of weird. They be asking for weird stuff.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
And it's like when you're in a session, like, you totally have to stay in character. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like they might ask you to do something, and you're like, oh, no, I'm probably gonna laugh. You know what I mean? But
right.
it's kind of like acting at the same time. You really have to like focus and really zone yourself into what you're doing. But as I've like done, more and more sessions, it does become more personal on a personal level. Like, I'm realizing that there's some weird shit out there that men do that it kind of turns me on a little bit, but it's really the sole fact that I have that much power over you.
It's a power play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that makes me like a sociopath, but it's okay. Like, I prey on the weak.
There you go. No, that makes total sense. Like, I definitely get the power play.
I was blind and I was the weak one.
So how many sessions would you say that you've had to date? Like, counting same people. Like, if you did one guy 2 or 3 times, you can count that as well. Say more than 20.
I would say around 20.
Okay.
I personally have only been doing the dom aspect for like 8 months.
Oh wow. Okay. You're still green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I got a lot of porn.
Okay. Do you I didn't check the links. I saw your link to your Polar Bear Nation, but do you have an OnlyFans?
Yes, there is, but okay, so on my personal page, which is BigDelicious88, I have the link to my Polar Bear Nation page.
Okay.
On the Polar Bear Nation page is the link to the Twitter and to our Snapchat. We can't put our OnlyFans link on there. Every time we do, it kicks us off and we got to make a new profile.
Oh.
So you have to go to the Twitter to go to the OnlyFans.
Okay.
Which I know is such a hassle to do all that. Which is why I have bought my own domain.
There you go.
Oh, daddy.
There you go.
To actually start the Polar Bear Nation website for itself. So I don't have to worry about all the extra in the middle bullshit,
Dope.
But right now I am working on putting it all together. And my biggest issue is getting a disclaimer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I need a disclaimer, that pops up.
Yeah.
As soon as you punch in the name.
Yeah, 18 years or older, please click enter and all that stuff. Okay.
Yes, okay. Because there's so many legal issues with that. And, I've had people like, oh, well, you could just kind of put a header at the top of the page. Like, yeah, I could probably skim by with that, but we're going to watch my big ass all the way around and make sure that we have no issues.
So on a side note here, on the business side of things, have you ever heard of like Fiverr? Like Fiverr.com?
Yes.
Okay. I was just gonna say you could use that to see if somebody can help you with like build the website and make sure that.
Yeah. Well, see, Well, see, with the GoDaddy, you don't really need help with the building of the website, to be
Oh,
honest.
really?
Yeah, it's all kind of like dummy proof.
Nice,
Really,
nice.
it really is. Now, if I were to build my own website,
Mm-hmm.
to build your own domain, I
Right.
would need help
For sure.
because I don't know all the codes and
Right.
all that.
Right.
But when you're on GoDaddy, so it's like basically going through a third party.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all already there.
Oh, that's dope.
The domain is actually there. You really just have to put your
Right.
content into it.
Dope.
Building your own domain is a little different.
Right. Do you have experience or background in IT or tech or anything, or you just have experience with the internet and you know how all this works?
Well, I mean, like I'm certified in like Microsoft, PowerPoint, Word,
Yeah.
Excel.
Yeah, I got you.
Those
Cool.
things.
Gotcha.
Yeah, got a little bit of education behind me.
I know that's
but I'd
right.
rather fuck. No.
I got you.
Who wants to go to a real job?
100% 9 to 5 suck, but that's a conversation for another day. So now I want to get to know who Big Delicious is. So as we said earlier, you're from Ohio. Said you're not into the Browns. Are you into any sports?
I like sports, but I don't idolize.
Mm-hmm.
I
For
don't
sure.
idolize.
For
Not
sure.
not music, not TV, nothing. I
Yeah.
just I like the sport for the sport.
Yeah.
So I don't really care who's playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really care who wins.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm in it for like, oh, that was a nice play.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I don't really idolize
Oh no, that's
in
right.
any way.
Yeah. People are people. Yeah, you definitely
Right.
shouldn't. Yeah.
Right. And I'm not making their money, so I really don't do
No,
anything.
that's right.
Like,
You want to give me a share of the millions,
like,
maybe I might like you more.
right. Everybody's always like, well, what team do you root for? I'm like, none until my son gets on one.
Right,
Like,
right. The team
when
of
my son
me.
gets on a team, that'll be the team I care about.
I know
Like,
For sure.
as my DraftKings pops up.
Right. What about movies? Are you into movies, music?
I'm not really a big movie head. I'm an eclectic though. Music, I love music. I listen to music all day, every day. There's not really a genre I don't listen to.
Okay.
I do listen to like rap more than anything, like even over R&B. And most girls they be real into R&B, like I'm like, I like gangster rap because at least they don't lie to me. You know what I mean? Like they tell me they're gonna treat me like a bitch and they're gonna use me for pussy. Like they tell me these things up front. Like R&B gives you a false sense of hope. Nobody's singing in the fucking rain for my ass. Like I don't want to hear it.
I know that's right. So who are you listening to? Let's say top 5 artists you're listening to right now.
Probably the same as everybody else.
Okay. Is it on the
Two-Time Finesse,
Okay.
Lil Baby, Moneybag Yo,
Okay.
The Baby.
So you got 2 babies on the list. Okay.
I like all the babies.
So what are you doing in your free time when you're not trying to build out your website? When you're not doing all, what are you like? You got an hour to yourself. What are you doing to decompress?
Really? My free time is my marketing and networking. Like, actually, I had mentioned earlier, like I'm blind in one eye, and I'm almost blind in the other. So, I don't really work too much. I'm really at home all day, every day.
That's nice.
So it's like all I have is free time. So to say like, what do you do in your free time? Like, I pick up my business.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
dope.
What else? What else could I be doing?
For sure.
Or should I be doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing else for me to do but find a way to make money.
Absolutely, that's the key.
Especially in my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a disability that there's nothing I can do about it. There's no cure for it. So what do? Do you just sit around and mope on disability and be poor your whole life?
For sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you got to go out there and get it.
Or you find a way around it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So do you do a lot of traveling? I'm just curious. Do you get out of Ohio a lot, or is you pretty much stay local here?
I've pretty much been local. I mean, we will travel, but it's kind of like I had a guy earlier ask me from Houston, like, oh, would you come down here? And I'm like, well, it depends. Like, if I put it out there, like, hey, we're coming to Houston and we're booking sessions. If I can get 3 sessions booked, then we'll come down there. If I can't get any other sessions booked and you want me to come, then you got to pay for the trip.
Right.
And pay for the session.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it really just depends. Like if it's a 1-person thing and they're willing to pay for the whole trip, we're on board. If not, I'm not paying for all that. Then by the time I get down there and do a session with you, I've used my session money to pay to get down there, and that's not worth it for me.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's worth it, I'm down. If it's not, I'm not.
I know that's right. That makes absolutely 100% sense. I don't see how anybody could argue that. So, in this line of work, where do you see yourself going in the next 5 years? Like, let's say it's 2028. You woke up tomorrow's 2028. Where would you want to see everything built out, or where would you want to see yourself at?
Well, hopefully by 2028, everybody's screaming Polar Bear Nation.
I know that's right.
um, yeah, I mean, I guess in the next 5 years, I would like to obviously have my website up and fully running,
Mm-hmm.
and at least have one of the two clubs invested in.
Okay.
And I say that because we've already been working on this for 3 years.
Mm.
So I'm realistic about timing. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
I know that, like, even if, all I have left to do on my website is just download videos,
Mm-hmm.
I know that I still couldn't launch in a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there's so much to put into it, especially in the adult film industry
Yeah.
or in the adult industry period. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many legal things that you really have to be so diligent about.
Right. Dot your
So
I's and cross your T's for sure.
every one of them
Mm-hmm.
twice. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Twice. Like, so yeah, in the next 5 years, like, obviously it would be great to say, oh, I want everything to be up and fully running, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not realistic.
Right.
Especially because I'm doing all my own marketing and all my own.
That was gonna be my next question. Wow.
Yeah, I do all my own. I don't pay for nobody to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, none of that. Like I said, I sit here all day long. So why would I pay somebody to do my marketing when I can spend the next 5 hours going through and following 5,000 people?
Right.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? On my own. So that saves us a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah. That
So.
just a random side note. Sorry, guys, watching. My dog's going crazy in the background. I don't know why he feels like playing right now, but he keeps jumping on my back. Yeah, that was one
He
thing.
probably feels my energy.
Right.
Like, yeah.
That was the one thing I did see from the entrepreneur Gary V. He's like an influencer or whatever. Is always you should reach out to 5 people via their inbox every day, and he said that could really like change your life. And just like you said, you reaching out to me and us getting into contact led to this interview. So definitely keep doing what you're doing. You are definitely on the right track for sure.
Yeah. And well, yeah. And I got another guy. I talked to a couple people in Houston, but I got a guy in Houston who actually owns his own plus size strip clubs and stuff. And I've actually been promoting him on my page. It's get.money entertainment 2022. Look out for him also. He does a lot with the BBWs for Houston. But he actually hit me up like, are you in Houston? I want to sign you so bad. And I'm like, no, I'm in Ohio. He's like, well, come make some money. What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, well, I can't just pick up and like leave it.
Right. I can't change my whole life around. Yeah.
Right. But if you want to collab and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could get it in for sure. We can work something out. Especially because, like I said, we want a plus size strip club up here. We're planning a trip to go down there to check out some. So he was like right up my alley. And I was
for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So it kind of ties in it. And that's where, I see a lot of people like they get a lot of messages in a day in their inbox and they really just don't check them. I check every one.
For sure.
Every single one. Because you never know who's in that inbox.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people kind of push that to the side. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of bullshit in your inbox.
Right.
But there's always that one diamond in the rough.
Right. You'll find a gem among the dirt for sure.
Right. So you have to check those. You have to check those inboxes. For sure. Even like you know what I'm saying? Like I was kind of iffy. I'm like, I'm gonna write him. This dude's never gonna check it. Like, he's probably got so many people in his inbox. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I didn't even notice that you had the podcast portion of it until after we had messaged in our inboxes.
Nice.
Because at first you were like, you have like 30 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I'm thinking like you're gonna text me back and forth, and then I got on there and I was looking and I'm like, oh, he's gonna video me.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
Blonde sometimes.
I got you. Like I said, we appreciate you coming on. Love the energy and love the information. So definitely appreciate you coming on. But I gotta ask. Because we were talking about the Dom stuff earlier and we got away from it. What is because I know people are going to want to know, what is the like craziest thing? Because you said you almost laughed on a couple of requests. What's like the craziest request you've gotten where you were like, what? Are you serious? Do you have any off the top of your head? You don't have to use names, just the requests.
No, I would never. I would never put them out there like that. I don't know. I think I would say for me, the craziest is the guy that likes to act like a dog.
Oh, okay.
Like, and like, it's not weird for them to be like, oh, put a collar on me,
Mm-hmm.
or you know what I'm saying, like that as far as the dom thing goes is kind of normal.
Right.
But he literally like likes to chase around the dog toy, and
Really?
jump in the pool and then get out and shake himself off and bark like a dog. Like, that is the hardest for me not to laugh. It really is, that one. But I get so much enjoyment out of making him do it, because
Mm-hmm.
that right there, that's like power
Mm.
that power to make somebody jump in a pool at 40 degrees
Right.
and get out and shake off like a dog. Like, you have to have a lot of power over somebody
Right.
for that,
Right. Right.
So yeah,
That's what
but
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
it is funny nonetheless.
For sure. That's why I think a lot of people have fetishized. I mean, this is just a side note. I've noticed a lot of fetishized porn about Wonder Woman, and I think it's the same like kind of power structure. Like
Yeah,
I think she's like 6'5" or something, and she's like this huge woman. And I've noticed a lot of in recent years since the movie came out, it's a lot of porn in regards to her like throwing men and like fighting men and all this
yeah,
stuff. So yeah,
yeah,
definitely a large. It's a larger sect of the population that people want to admit. People being into like being dominated and being
yeah,
the idea of being beneath a woman. So
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it goes the same way for women too, though,
Mm-hmm.
especially nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, it was like women were naturally submissive to men anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like women, we have taken on such a dominant role
Right.
that, even for some women, like it's hard for them to admit that they like to be submissive in the bedroom
Right.
or submissive at all. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like, you're almost frowned upon nowadays
Mm-hmm.
if you're a submissive person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to be dominant. Everybody wants to be the head honcho.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a lot for either one of us to admit that we're submissive.
Absolutely. That's a whole YouTube influencer. Like
Yeah.
that's all
Yeah.
people talk about is whether a woman should be submissive or dominant. That is that's millions.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, in your personal life, would you ever date someone who's into being dominated, or would you just want like, hey, I just want a normal cookie cutter relationship, nothing too crazy?
I could do it. I
Okay.
could do it now
Mm,
that I've been into it a little bit.
mm,
But it would have to be like a happy medium. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Right.
if you want to be domed like on Tuesday and Thursday, and
Right.
we can be normal the rest of the week,
Right.
like,
Right.
I'm cool with that. And I do have a lot of morals and stuff that I go by. So,
Mm,
when there's other people around and stuff like that's just, if it were my relationship, it would definitely have to be like a behind closed doors.
right. Right.
Like, um, so, if we have company over, like, no, you're not going to call me master.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's
Right.
weird.
Right.
Like,
We're not going to the
no, you're not
PTA
gonna
meeting,
make
and
my
you're yeah.
plate.
Right.
Right. Like, I'll make your plate, babe. It's okay.
Right.
There's people here.
Right.
Like, but when they leave, I'll make sure I put your plate on the floor and you can fucking pick it up. Like, um, yeah, it would just have to be like a happy balance there, like,
Yeah, for sure.
of the two.
Mm.
I couldn't do it full time as a relationship.
Yeah, okay. Have you ever gotten into a situation with like a client where you're like, oh, he's really attractive. I could see myself dating him, but let me pull myself back into this zone.
No, because they're all white.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, that's the thing. It's like oh, okay, okay.
Well, yeah, because I mean, and don't get me wrong, there are black men out there that
Mm,
are into that, but for me, I feel uncomfortable
mm,
because they're called slaves.
mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be real, like,
Right.
we've worked way too
Right.
hard to
Right.
come, and my son is black, and a lot of them like to get into race play, and I'm
Mm,
like,
right.
there's just not enough money for that.
Right.
Like,
Makes your
I
skin
can't,
crawl.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I respect your culture,
Mm,
and I respect what you fought for too
mm,
much
right.
to even put you in that classification.
Mm,
So for me, I'm more like I can dom white men,
mm.
and I would be the sub to a black man.
That's awesome. I mean, I won't say awesome, but
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I can't. And my partner's the same way.
Mm,
So it kind of makes it nice for us, because then we don't really have too many like conflicts of interest or anything. You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like, where she's like, "Oh, come on, let's just do this one," or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
we don't have that. Like, we're both like, no, off the jump. Like, as soon as we see a black man in the inbox, we're like, nah, we
That's
can't help you.
that's pretty
Move
cool.
on to the next.
That's pretty interesting. It's like you want us to do it. No, sorry, we can't do. We
Right.
just can't do that.
We're like,
Okay.
but you want to like tie us up
Right.
and beat us? We're cool with that.
That's hilarious. Okay,
Like, we'll take it from you, big dick daddy.
go ahead. Oh wow. Okay, sorry, that threw me off. All right. So, we were talking about jumping back and forth. We were talking about movies and music. Is there any recent movie that you've seen recently? I'm just jumping all over the place. Sorry. But...
I would say as far as good movies, the most recent I seen was Creed 3.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
Yeah. No, oh, it was good.
Mm.
I like the whole Rocky series though too. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so I liked it.
Have you
either
seen
way.
all? Have you seen all the Creeds and all the
I have,
Rockies? Mm.
have, and my fat ass has ran the Rocky stairs.
Oh, in Philly? Oh, those stairs are in Philly, right?
Yes.
Dang.
Yes.
Okay, then. Hey, you better than me, girl. I'll take a picture from a distance, but
Well, look, and there's this big fountain up there. This real pretty fountain,
Mm-hmm.
and so we get there, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna run the stairs. We're gonna run the stairs, and my fat ass, like, well, mind you, at the time I was 400 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost quite a bit of weight. I was 400 pounds, and
Congrats on that, by the way.
Thank you. But I got all the way to the top, and I was so excited that I got there, but I was so out of breath that I didn't even take a picture at the top of the fountain to prove I made it to the top. My fat ass ran all the way down the stairs, and I'm like, no one's gonna ever believe me.
Hey, you did it. That's the most important part. You accomplished it.
Right.
I'll vouch for you. I'll vouch for you.
Like, I know I did it. I don't care who believes me. I know I was about to die from being out of breath.
So, earlier you had told me about the guy that you were talking to in Texas, that he was running a BBW club. Do you find that there's a lot more BBW or positive energy in the South? Because I've noticed that.
Well, of course, everything's bigger
Yeah.
in Texas.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess that kind of goes hand in hand, really, because I mean, even just looking around, browsing on different websites and stuff, like, it really is like a lot of BBW things are in Houston, Dallas. I mean, really anywhere down south, but Texas is a big one.
Yeah,
it really
sure.
is a big one.
Yeah.
Even when I'm going through looking, like I said, I looked up BBWs in Ohio, and you know, just any way you can put BBW, BBW Dom, BBW subs, you know, however you can put it in the little search engine, I'll put it in there. And a lot of them they come back Texas.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I really just need to go down there, even for like a month, maybe, and
I feel
just network for an entire month straight and see, you know what I mean? Like, where I could probably get a lot further there in a month than I could get here in a year.
Yeah, and I know a lot of women, not a lot of women, but I know some women that they live in the state. They'll fly down there for, like you say, work down there for a month, go into different clubs, or you know, meeting one-on-one with clients, and then just go back to their regular state and then just do that for 11 months and just do that. And they say it's totally worth the financial, you know, back and forth like that.
And that's what I just said. I could probably go down there for a month and accomplish more than I could here in a year.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the further up north you get, though, like Ohio and like you know, Pennsylvania, all that, like the BBW thing it's not as widespread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of men still kind of fight it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still in the closet about it. You know what I'm saying? Like like, it's time to come out. Gay people can get married. You
right.
Can right,
for like, sure. Yeah.
It's okay.
Right.
Like, once the gay people were allowed to get married, we were allowed to do whatever the hell we want. Like,
people get married to sex dolls and everything else. It's like, come on, man. It's New Year.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything's acceptable now.
Right. Well, Big Delicious, I want to say thank you very much for joining us today. I see this little timer is about to kick me out of here, so I definitely don't want to get kicked out mid-conversation because it's been a great conversation. Before we get off of here, I just have one last question for you. Is there anybody off the top of your head that you would love to collaborate with, that you want to give a shout out to, that's either inspired you or something along those lines?
Oh, off the top of my head, no.
Okay. Gotcha.
No. And like, only because, like I just said, I spend my whole day networking. So like, I see so many names in a day that I'm like, sheesh, I couldn't even think of one. I would like to shout out Big Fine Glenn though. I met her through Instagram like 3 years ago. We were supposed to go down to Atlanta and do a photo shoot together. I do think people are sleeping on her. She does have a lot going for herself, but I think she should be a lot farther. So I would check her out, Big Fine Glenn. Okay. And Big Mova's house. She does a lot. That's where we were going to do the photo shoot. So I would say I would definitely shout them out. And if I could work with them, I would work with them. Unfortunately, when we had the opportunity, things got in the way.
Right.
So hopefully there's still, right. Hopefully there's still a day out there for us.
Okay, for sure, for sure. Well, thank you, ma'am. Like I said, everybody, this is Big Delicious. We appreciate her for coming by. All the links for her are in the description. If you are watching on YouTube, if you are listening to us on podcast streaming services, then just go to YouTube and search Ohio BBW Network. We thank you a lot for joining us today, and you have a great one.
You too. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Peace.